Now, before you stop this video, hear me out. This is a good one. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's Manga Pollen, Sweat and Soap. Let's get started. Now, at first glance of this book, before I even get into the Manga Pollen review, it's giving creeper vibes, I know, but hear me out. This one is actually one of my absolute faves, and I'll tell you why. Sweat and Soap is about this young woman, Asuko, who works at a soap company as an accountant that runs into her co-worker, Natori, but in a very interesting twist. She suffers from sweating too much, basically. And, she's had this problem as a little kid, and so it makes her very self-conscious. Surprisingly enough, she runs into Natori, who he is obsessed with her smell. To the point he's like chasing down the hallway saying, I have to smell you. Like I said, this is creepy vibes, but it's okay, because I absolutely enjoy this. So, as I continue. After first meeting each other and him saying, I'm obsessed with your smell, she's like, why? The reason is not to spoil the rest of the book, but because he has a more heightened sense of smell, which helps him greatly because he's in the product development department of the soap company, which means the people that come up with all the different soap scents, what goes together, if mint, eucalyptus goes together better than, daisies and, peonies or whatever like that. So yes, again, chance meeting, he's obsessed with her smell, she's wondering what's going on, and as the story goes on and you see them kind of slowly get to know each other, surprisingly, this is actually her first real relationship. And so I really love the fact that this book shows not just, a kind of young adult, grown-up romance of meeting in an office, finding somebody that you definitely like, an opposites attract kind of situation, but you see them get to know each other, someone who's very kind of timid and shy, new to relationships, and one that has been in previous relationships before, kind of get to know each other and set their own pace, per se, for their relationship. The reason why I really love this book is because I like the character development in the beginning. And it goes in the fact that it jumps right into the story. There is no chapter 1, chapter 2, who is she, who is he, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, this is her. She sweats a lot. This is him. He does this. They meet each other because he's kind of crazy and says, I want to smell you. And there it is. So, getting off track of the overview of the story, honestly, it's about two people who get to know each other, have different backgrounds, who come together and learn how to have a relationship, build a relationship, even just starting a relationship. So it's a great way the author of this book kind of translated this to where you really kind of grow with them in the stages of their relationship, because you see where there's ups, there's downs, moving in together, job changes, certain job responsibilities may be more strenuous than others, while still, saying I love you and I care about you, and family and friends and all these different things. Again, I really love this book. So before I spoil it for you, let me jump into where to get it, if it's an anime, and all that jazz. So, first question. On my take, was I hooked? Of course, I was hooked in the first 2-3 pages, because I'm gonna let you know, starting out, I did not pick up this book right away to read it. Again, another wonderful suggestion from Kuma Busy Bee, and he tried to sell me, oh, it's so good. I was like, this looks like creeper vibes, why are you giving me this book? But again, as I go on a tangent, it was worth the read. I will say this, honestly, it took me about a few days to actually open the book, because I was like, is this kind of book, those kind of books, which is nothing wrong against them, because there are some of my faves. I have some more reviews on this later on, but with this one, once I actually got started and gave it a chance, just give it a chance, you are going to like it and love it, especially if you're into those kind of relationship heavy books where you kind of see the different stages. Not so much, it's lovey-dovey all the time, but you see the real humanistic part of being in a relationship, how it builds, how you meet, and all that extra things. So was I hooked? Absolutely. Like I said, my first take on the book, the cover, was a no. Give it a chance. It was a yes. Again, definitely take a chance on this one. It's worth it. And at some bookstores, they actually have the whole book set, because unfortunately, it actually ended, and it's really sad. Being sarcastic, but super serious. They've only gone to book 11, and it really ends in a very beautiful way. I will not spoil it. Some of the book covers will spoil some things for you. Just a heads up in case you see it out of order, see it in a bookstore. If you see a book on the floor and you see book 11, you're like, oh my gosh, ruined it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Definitely worth the read. Definitely worth getting the book set. Sunflowers, you already know the answer. 1 out of 5, I give it a 5. 5. I would give it a 10 if I went up that far. But I would give it 5 sunflowers. I truly love this book. I love it, love it, love it. I know you're probably sick of me saying I love this book. You have to go read it. You have to take a chance. Again, give the creep book cover book a chance. It's really worth it. It really is. Does it have an anime? No. I did see one poster that looked like it was a live action, and I was kind of scared. I was like, no. Not because it was scary, but I was like, please don't ruin this. Please ruin it. But at this moment, it does not have an anime. It does not have a live action that I know of. If there is one overseas that I don't know, or if they have aired one in Japan, please put it in the comments below. Send me a direct message letting me know yes, and I will take a look reluctantly, but with a smile on my face to give it a chance. Just for you. Again, tell me what you think, if there is one. And last but not least, of course, where to get it. As I said earlier, Books A Million, of course, hands down, as I've said it in most of my videos, is my top fave. With that one, they do have the book set split, and I believe it's 1 through 5 and then 6 through 11 together. I plan on getting the book sets in the boxes just to kind of put on my shelf as a decoration, because I have all the books, they're all loose, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to have a set to read, and I want to have a set to kind of put on display. Pro tip, the more you read the book, the more you buy the book, the author sees there is a need, and I gotta keep the story going. I will say this, back in 2021, I started reading this book, and it was only up to book 9. And at my local bookstore, I was at Barnes & Noble in my area, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to order this book. Now, I will say this, a part of me was kind of like embarrassed to order the book and say, yeah, because the title itself kind of like, sweat and soap, what is this? But the more I ordered the book, indirectly I was telling the author, please keep making the books, to where by the time I finally caught up, because I think I was like book 3 or 4, and I just wanted to buy them ahead and just keep ordering it. He went all the way to book 11, and then that was where he ended. But nonetheless, to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm buying this book, I'm pre-ordering this book, I really want this book. So yeah, pro tip, if you really enjoy a manga and you really love reading it, along with reading it online, showing the author and the bookseller that there is a need and people want this book, it helps them out. It's a win-win situation. Again, the 3 booksellers, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and Amazon. Again, always check to make sure it is in the language you need. And that concludes Manga Pollen for today. Sweat and soap. Until next time.